Why do we go to primary school? Because we want to go to high school. Why do we go to high school? Because we want to go to university. Why do we want to go to university? Because we want to have a good job. Why do we want to have a good job? Because we want to earn a lot of money. And why do we want to earn a lot of money? Because we want to buy expensive German cars. Alzheimer's disease is an illness that stops the brain from functioning properly. It causes problems with the memory, thinking, and behavior. In most cases, it only hits elderly people, approximately after the age of 65. At the beginning of this illness, only minimal symptoms are shown. But over the course of the illness, the brain gets more and more damaged, and therefore the symptoms become worse. But what are the symptoms? The most common and most frequent one is memory loss. The person often has difficulties remembering information that was given to them only a short period of time before. Other symptoms include difficulties with communication, such as writing and speaking, or confusion about events, people, and places. Currently, there's no treatment that can stop this illness. The average person that has Alzheimer has approximately 8 years to live from the moment their first symptom appears. This summer, I visited my grandfather who has this disease. I remember a man who I would always look up to, not only because of my own height. Since I was young, my grandfather advised me to achieve the best possible education. He wouldn't accept anything less. He was a typical scholarly person, thirsty for knowledge and more possibilities to educate himself. After a successful high school diploma, followed by a scholarship at a well-represented university, and then a job, he wanted to be at the top. He had worked hard and played hard. He was intelligent and well off. The world was his oyster. Spectacular holidays, expensive clothing, amazing parties, 2 children, and a big house. Today, he lives in a nursing home. His house is sold. He hasn't been on holidays for years, and he can't put on his own clothes. He doesn't remember the things that he has gained over the years, first in school, then in university, and then in his job. It no longer exists to him. Every single monthly salary, every single holiday, every single steak he has forgotten. Isn't that just really sad? To be honest, it really scares me. Why do I go to school every day and work so hard in my math course? Why do I dream of a big house, relaxing holidays, and the super cool Louis Vuitton bag that I wanted to have since forever, if there's a chance that I won't remember any of this? I've thought about this question for a while now, and I think I found an answer. An answer that gives life a purpose. An answer that explains to me why I work so hard and why it's worth it. Because one thing has not been taken from my grandfather. Love. Love, affection, and camaraderie, the very things that come from a community, are the last things that this horrible illness takes from you. To this day, his friends and his grandchildren visit him to talk to him and to give him company. He regularly asks my dad when his wife will come home from work, because he forgets that she died 10 years ago. But the feeling of affection and the deep sense of their marriage is still something he remembers today. His community still affects him in positive ways. But what has all of this to do with us, since we're pretty much at the beginning of our path in life? Appleby defines itself by having students who are technologically empowered, academically vital, globally responsible, actively engaged, and universally diverse. Now I know what you might be thinking. Just a few minutes ago, Johanna told us how education, success, and money are not important in the end. And yet we are all attending a school whose values and goals are geared towards making a good education and success possible for all of us. And here we come to the point. Just because there's a chance that we won't remember things doesn't mean that we should give up our dreams and change our path in life. Appleby challenges us and supports us, regardless of whether we know what we want to do in our lives or not. Our lives at this moment have meaning. To be truly honest, I've concealed something from you. While I was talking about the ideals Appleby has, I didn't tell you that Appleby also defines itself through their students being community-spirited. But what does the word community even mean? I used Google to answer this question, and it told me a community is a group of people that work together, live together, and often strive for the same goal. There is a group of people sitting here right now, and we spend pretty much every day together. And are all striving for similar goals, whether the goal is to be the first person to attack the dining hall muffins, or to look a little further to make it to our graduation, or maybe even further ahead, to be able to say that we had a life full of happiness when it comes to the end. Here at Appleby, we are a community according to the definition, right? We enter the Appleby community at different stages, but we are all an important part of the community until we graduate. Even after we graduate, we are and we can be connected to Appleby for the rest of our lives. And that's why I'm asking every single one of you to try the following. Take some time every day to take care of our community. No matter what you accomplish in the future, the feelings of togetherness, camaraderie, and friendship that we create right now and right here at Appleby will bring us happiness and joy in the end. In order for this happiness and joy to come, we need to make sure that everyone feels included, represented, and welcomed in the Appleby community. Some of the people sitting here in chapel right now entered Appleby just a couple of weeks ago, whether it was in middle school, upper school, or senior school, as an international boarder or as a day student. My first day at Appleby was last year, as an international boarder from Germany, coming into grade 11. Being new in a school where some people have known each other since grade 7 or grade 9, it was hard to feel included. When I first saw the Appleby campus, I thought I would never know where to go. I remember not understanding where the NAC was what Okies was, or where my biology classroom was. It has not been the easiest time of my life. I did not feel welcomed. I found myself avoiding the dining hall and skipping lunch to not have the risk of sitting alone. I found myself automatically walking to an empty table in the classroom because I was scared people would not want to sit with me. I remember being scared of answering questions or participating in classes because I was afraid people would make fun of my accent and that I would make myself vulnerable, letting people know that I wasn't fluent in English. I found myself waiting for someone to make me feel welcomed. But a community is a two-way street. Yes, people who have been in this community for a while need to be welcoming. That's why I want everyone who's a returning student at Appleby to try and to be as welcoming as possible. Watch out for people not knowing where they're going. No matter if you know them, if they are part of your clique, and if they are in your grade or not. Watch out for people that look lost in the dining hall. Smile and say hi to people. Introduce yourselves. But also, everyone who's new and has just entered the Appleby community, put yourselves out there. Don't wait for someone to make you feel included. Include yourself. Tell people if you have a language barrier, because how would they know if you don't tell them? If you see a lunch table and there still is a free spot, go there and ask if you can sit down and give people the chance to get to know you. We will only be able to build a good community if everyone makes the effort. We need every single one of us in this school to be part of our big dream. No one gets left behind. I want every returning student and returning faculty member who's willing to be welcoming this year to stand up. And now, I want every new student and new faculty member to stand up if they are willing to put themselves out there. So let's all walk towards each other from both sides of the street during this year and build a feeling of togetherness that we will never forget. And since we're all standing right now, let's sing hymn number 662.